convert a 480 volts delta power supply to a 480/277 volts Y configuration, there are several steps to consider. The machine requires a 480 volts, 3-phase, 60 Hz power supply with 245 full load amps. The main circuit breaker is rated for 300 amps with a maximum short circuit interruption capacity of 30,000 amps. Since the incoming power supply is 480 volts delta, a customer-supplied isolation transformer is required. This transformer must have a grounded neutral point on the secondary side. The transformer should have a suitable volt-ampere rating to handle the machine's load, which is calculated as 245 amps multiplied by 480 volts, equaling 117,600 volt-amperes. While transformer fault sensing isn't explicitly required, it's highly recommended to install current transformers, often referred to as donuts, to monitor the transformer's condition and protect against potential faults. For wiring the transformer, firstly, on the primary side, connect the 480 volts delta supply to the transformer's primary terminals. Secondly, on the secondary side, wire the transformer secondary terminals to a 480/277 volts wide distribution panel. Thirdly, connect the transformer secondary neutral to the building's electrical ground. After the transformer is wired, install the machine and connect it to the 480 volts Y supply from the distribution panel. The key differences between a 480 volts delta to 480/277 volts Y conversion compared to a 480 volts delta to 208/120 volts Y conversion are: firstly, the transformer secondary voltage is 480/277 volts Y instead of 208/120 volts Y. Secondly, the neutral point on the transformer secondary is grounded. Thirdly, transformer fault sensing is highly recommended for the 480/277 volts Y system. Ensure that the transformer has sufficient cooling capacity for the expected load and ambient temperature. Install the transformer in a suitable location with adequate ventilation. It is important to follow all applicable electrical codes and safety regulations. Consulting with a qualified electrician for proper installation and commissioning is advisable. Consider the National Electrical Code (NEC) requirements for grounding and bonding of the transformer. The NEC Article 250 covers grounding and bonding requirements for electrical systems. Specifically, review NEC sections related to separately derived systems such as 250.30 and 250.32 to ensure proper grounding of the transformer's secondary neutral. Pay close attention to the size of the grounding electrode conductor and the bonding jumpers. The size of these conductors must be adequate to handle the available fault current. Refer to NEC Table 250.66 for sizing the grounding electrode conductor based on the size of the ungrounded conductors. Verify that the overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers or fuses, are properly sized and rated for the transformer and the connected load. The overcurrent protection should protect the transformer from overload and short-circuit conditions. Consult NEC Article 450 for requirements related to transformer overcurrent protection. Ensure that the transformer is installed in a location that meets the NEC requirements for clearances and accessibility. The transformer should be readily accessible for maintenance and inspection. Maintain adequate clearances around the transformer to allow for proper ventilation and to prevent overheating. Consider the ambient temperature in the transformer's location when selecting the transformer's kVA rating. The transformer's capacity should be derated if it is installed in a high ambient temperature environment. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations for derating the transformer. Select the appropriate type of transformer enclosure for the installation environment. If the transformer is installed outdoors or in a damp location, use an EMA3R or 4 rated enclosure to protect it from the elements. If the transformer is installed indoors in a dry location, an EMA1 or 2 rated enclosure may be sufficient. When connecting the transformer, use appropriately sized conductors and connectors that are rated for the voltage and current. Use copper conductors for the primary and secondary connections. Ensure that the conductors are properly insulated and protected from physical damage. Tighten all connections to the manufacturer's specified torque to prevent loose connections, which can cause overheating and arcing. Label all conductors and equipment clearly to identify the source and destination of the power. Use permanent labels that are resistant to fading and weathering. Proper labeling helps to prevent confusion and errors during maintenance and troubleshooting. Perform a thorough inspection of the installation after completing the wiring and connection. Check for any loose connections, damaged components, or other potential hazards. Correct any deficiencies before energizing the system. Use a megometer to test the insulation resistance of the transformer windings and conductors. This test helps to identify any insulation faults or weaknesses. Compare the measured insulation resistance values to the manufacturer's specifications. Verify the voltage and phase rotation of the secondary output before connecting the load. Use a voltmeter to measure the line-to-line and line-to-neutral voltages. Ensure that the phase rotation matches the requirements of the connected equipment. Monitor the transformer's temperature during operation to ensure that it is not overheating. Use a thermal imaging camera to scan the transformer's surface for hot spots. If any hot spots are detected, investigate the cause and take corrective action. Schedule regular maintenance inspections of the transformer and associated equipment. Check for any signs of deterioration, such as corrosion, leaks, or damaged insulation. Clean the transformer and surrounding area to remove any dust or debris. Keep a detailed record of all maintenance activities and test results. This record can be used to track the transformer's performance and identify any potential problems early on. Ensure that all personnel working on the electrical system are properly trained and qualified. They should be familiar with the relevant electrical codes and safety regulations. Provide them with the necessary personal protective equipment, such as gloves, safety glasses, and arc flash suits. Develop and implement a comprehensive safety program that includes procedures for lockout/tagout, arc flash protection, and other electrical hazards. Conduct regular safety training sessions to reinforce safe work practices. Consider the impact of the transformer on the overall power system. Ensure that the transformer does not introduce any harmonics or other power quality problems. Install power quality monitoring equipment to measure the voltage, current, and harmonic distortion. Use power factor correction capacitors to improve the power factor and reduce energy losses. Coordinate the transformer's protection with the utility company to ensure that the transformer is properly protected in the event of a fault on the utility system. Share the transformer's nameplate data and protection settings with the utility company. Conduct a load flow study to analyze the power system's performance under various operating conditions. This study can help to identify any potential overloads or voltage drops. Use the results of the load flow study to optimize the transformer's size and location. Consider the future growth of the load when selecting the transformer's kV/ampere rating. Oversize the transformer slightly to accommodate future increases in demand. This can save you the cost and inconvenience of replacing the transformer later on. Evaluate the energy efficiency of the transformer. Choose a transformer that meets or exceeds the minimum energy efficiency standards. Energy-efficient transformers can save you money on your electricity bill and reduce your carbon footprint. Consider the environmental impact of the transformer. Choose a transformer that uses environmentally friendly materials and fluids. Dispose of used transformers properly to prevent pollution. Be aware of the potential hazards associated with transformers, such as arc flash and electric shock. Take appropriate precautions to protect yourself and others from these hazards. Follow all safety procedures and use the necessary personal protective equipment. Always de-energize and lockout/tagout the transformer before performing any maintenance or repairs. Contact a qualified electrician if you are not comfortable working on electrical equipment. Comply with all applicable federal, state, and local regulations related to electrical safety and environmental protection. Stay up to date on the latest codes and standards. Attend continuing education courses to maintain your knowledge and skills. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that the transformer is installed and operated safely and efficiently. This will help to provide reliable power to the machine and protect your investment. 480 volts delta system typically consists of three-phase conductors without a neutral wire. The voltage between any two-phase conductors is 480 volts. In contrast, the 480/277 volts Y system has three-phase conductors, a neutral wire, and a ground wire. The voltage between any phase conductor and the neutral wire is 277 volts, while the voltage between any two-phase conductors is 480 volts. The neutral wire provides a return path for unbalanced loads. The ground wire provides a path for fault current to return to the source, helping to protect against electrical shock. In a 480 volts delta to 480/277 volts Y conversion, the transformer creates a new source of power with a grounded neutral. This is necessary because many modern machines and equipment require a grounded neutral for proper operation and safety. The transformer isolates the machine from the 480 volts delta system, providing a clean and stable power supply. The grounded neutral also helps to reduce voltage transients and noise in the power line. This can improve the performance and reliability of the machine. Transformer selection involves considering various factors such as kVA rating, voltage ratio, impedance, and efficiency. The kVA rating should be sufficient to handle the machine's full load current and any future growth in demand. The voltage ratio should match the input and output voltages of the system. The impedance affects the transformer's ability to withstand short-circuit currents. The efficiency determines how much energy is lost in the transformer. It is important to choose a transformer that is energy efficient to reduce energy costs. There are different types of transformers available, such as dry-type and liquid-filled. Dry-type transformers are typically used indoors, while liquid-filled transformers are used outdoors or in industrial applications. Liquid-filled transformers use oil or other insulating fluids to cool the core and windings. These fluids must be handled and disposed of properly to prevent environmental contamination. The transformer's nameplate provides important information about its specifications and operating characteristics. The nameplate includes the kVA rating, voltage ratio, impedance, frequency, and insulation class. It also includes the manufacturer's name and model number. It is important to read and understand the nameplate information before installing or operating the transformer. Transformer installation involves mounting the transformer, connecting the wiring, and grounding the system. The transformer should be mounted on a solid, level surface that can support its weight. The wiring should be sized according to the NEC and the transformer's nameplate. The system should be grounded properly to provide a path for fault current to return to the source. Transformer maintenance involves inspecting the transformer, cleaning the windings, and testing the insulation. The transformer should be inspected regularly for any signs of damage or deterioration. The windings should be cleaned to remove any dust or debris. The insulation should be tested to ensure that it is still in good condition. Transformer troubleshooting involves identifying and repairing any problems that may arise. Common transformer problems include overheating, voltage fluctuations, and insulation failure. These problems can be caused by overloading, poor ventilation, or improper maintenance. If you encounter any problems with the transformer, consult a qualified electrician. Transformer safety is paramount. Always de-energize and lockout/tag out the transformer before performing any maintenance or repairs. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as gloves, safety glasses, and arc flash suits. Be aware of the potential hazards associated with transformers such as arc flash and electric shock. Follow all safety procedures and guidelines. The importance of a qualified electrician cannot be overstated. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is essential to have the knowledge and skills to perform the work safely and correctly. A qualified electrician can help you select the right transformer, install it properly, and maintain it safely. They can also troubleshoot any problems that may arise and ensure that the system is operating efficiently. Hiring a qualified electrician is an investment in your safety and the reliability of your electrical system. Before starting any electrical work, it is important to obtain the necessary permits and approvals from the local authorities. This ensures that the work is done in compliance with the applicable codes and regulations. Failure to obtain the necessary permits can result in fines and delays. It can also create safety hazards.